This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
You know, sports elicits some weird emotions, wild emotions. And tell me if you guys have been here before. I was more upset and distraught after Game 2's loss than I was last night.
Me too.
Because last night, the reality hits you. Last night, the truth hits you. And I was suspicious of it. I sort of saw it coming, but it just smacked you in the face like Mosher and his 10 pounds of meat. I got smacked by 10 pounds of meat right in the face last night, and I wasn't surprised.
It's almost like you're asking for a reality check. Just give it to me, doctor.
Yeah.
Straight, I can take it. It's one of those reality checks.
Yeah.
You're almost begging for it. All right, just please show me who you really are, and we can get on with this damn thing. I think last night was they're showing you that they're not there with this group the way it's constituted.
The roster's not good enough.
No. And
you know what? They can win another game in this series.
Sure they could.
Of course they can. They can extend it. But let's be blunt here. For what? To escape the inevitable? What's coming up next?
Yeah. I mean, we were all kind of wondering when they fired Malone, maybe that gives them a little extra juice. Maybe that gives them a pop. And I think it did. It did.
Yeah, it did.
But that's not going to last, for a month and a half, 2 months during a playoff run. Like, eventually that's going to run its course. And I think Vic said it best. I'm unsurprised by the result last night because it felt like what I've seen all year. The Nuggets are capable of playing a good basketball game. They're capable of this repeatedly, though.
Yeah. My theme yesterday was they have to surprise me. Yeah. And they often do, right? I told you guys that. I said, I don't expect them to win, but they've surprised me before. Now they would have to shock me to win this series.
Yeah.
Not surprise me, shock me. And they've shocked us before. They did. In the bubble, they did it twice. Now that you've got injured players stacking up, we spent a good portion of our show last night, our postgame show, talking about what they need moving forward. That sort of tells you where the tone is.
Sure.
The Altitude Daily, the morning sprint.
A lot of great things to say, particularly about the versatility on field of Jahdae Barron, but two, and this is the same thing that we've seen, he's a football nerd.
It reminds me a bit the story that Sean Payton told last night about taking the phone and asking Coach Payton to, hey, can I talk to everybody who was involved in this selection? He passed the phone around, and Jahdae Barron wanted to personally thank them because of their belief in him as a player to make him the first-round selection for the Denver Broncos. That feels to me a little bit like the Bo Nix backpack story of a year ago. Does it not?
Yep.
He loves these guys. And you know what? You should be proud as a Denver Broncos fan that matters in this culture. That's something that is a high premium is placed on those types of character players. Ultimately, that's a sustainable model, and it leads to a very healthy locker room environment. And that's what does give me even more. I have more warm feelings about this pick today than I did last night.
Okay, so last night I was upset. And for many, many weeks leading up to night one of the draft, what was I a proponent of? I was
Bo Nix tools.
Bo Nix tools. Offensive players.
And even the thought of moving out of the first round would be to get even more Bo Nix tools.
That was my thing. And I believe I probably said, I'll be real pissed off, or worst case scenario for me is that they take a defensive back at number 20. And a lot of safeties were mocked to the Broncos. I never saw a mock draft with Jahdae Barron on there. I expected to be really disappointed and really upset this morning, and I was not. I woke up and I went, okay, I kind of get it. He's a rover. He can play nickel. It means that Jaquan McMillan going into the final year of his contract is certainly not safe. It gives them certainty if there's regression from Riley Moss, which, again, I don't expect, but there could be. And what it screamed to me was value. This guy was I'd love to see their board. I'd be shocked if he was outside the top 10 on their board in terms of overall prospects.
The Altitude Daily. Columbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
The hard part with it, and people will never be able to understand this concept of you're not hating on the player, you're not hating on the dude.
It's hard to separate it.
He's a Jim Thorpe Award winner.
People struggle with it.
He stole it from Travis Hunter, right? Great football player. It does not. I just can't find a world in which it makes sense. So somebody wanted to make sense out of drafting and look, when I said to Mike Sanford, well, he's got to take Riley Moss's spot, right? Because that's the only thing that can make sense to me. And he's like, no, this dude's a nickel. Okay, in my opinion, that makes it even worse because I could justify the value of a starting corner, a starting nickel. That just gets worse and worse and worse for me. I don't get it, man. There was one of 4 positions you could have taken. You could have made sense out of running back, tight end, wide receiver, defensive tackle. This is not a world that makes sense to me.
Okay. Well, here we are. And we're in this world.
So, real fast.
Yes, Scott.
Again, I reiterate why I'm never so fired up as you two for mock drafts.
No fun.
For this reason right here. 2, I've been listening the last 2 weeks. Oh, they're going to be great. They're going to kill the draft. And now all of a sudden I hear this hate from you two after just weeks of
months
heaping praise.
Months.
I wouldn't have cared, and I don't care that it's Jahdae, which makes me think I had a buddy of mine met a guy the other day named Jathan, and not Jason or Nathan, but Jathan.
Yeah, stupid name.
And so he said, I always say the name a couple times. I remember I said, "Hey Jathan, how you doing? Jathan, it's nice to meet you. Jathan, that's an interesting name." And the guy he kind of looked at my buddy and looked at him and said, "Are you serious?"
I don't have a rim shot, so that's the best I could do.
Anyway,
if I had a rim shot, I would have hit it. I could see it coming a mile down the road, but the best I can do is...
I think it's... Explain it to Tyler during the timeout. I have no problem with the pick. It's at your 20th. You probably got the best guy left on the board, athletically and everything else. I do think the NFL has changed, and everybody is aerial attacks. And I think nowadays NFL defenses start 3 corners, so you've got your third starting corner. And if Riley Moss is injured, can go out, you got a guy that's more qualified that can go out and play outside if he needs to. What was the guy you mentioned a while ago that played in the slot when they won the Super Bowl 15?
Bradley Roby.
Bradley Roby.
Yeah.
And he filled in, when guys were hurt. Harris was hurt for a little bit. He
Sure.
slid back over to the main thing. So you've added depth, quality depth. We saw when Moss got hurt last year, there was no quality depth. So maybe you've added a little quality depth there. And the guy that's probably, it'd be interesting to see. Sanford just said that he thinks the team's probably starting nickel 80% of the time.
Okay.
The Altitude Daily. Kreckman and Lindahl.
With the 40th overall selection in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints have selected quarterback Tyler Shough out of Louisville.
To get you like this?
Shedeur Sanders still available. 40 picks into the 2025 NFL Draft. Tyler Shough now the 3rd quarterback taken in this draft after Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, now Shough going to New Orleans at number 40. Remember, the Saints, Andy, were one of the teams where Shedeur was mocked to at number 9. Instead, they took Kelvin Banks, the tackle, last night. Now they take Tyler Shough. So the Giants and the Saints, 2 QB-needy teams, have both elected not to select Shedeur Sanders.
Well, and they talked about it on ESPN today, and it's something you and I had talked about. Unfortunately, this is where, because I like Shedeur. Fortunately for all those that are enjoying it. You don't want Deion coming out and talking in his press conference about this. They had said that wherever Shedeur goes, he needs to make sure he just walks in the facility and cuts ties with Dad, but he's just got to assure them Dad's not going to be discussing whatever it is that's going on here at his pressers on Thursday, or Tuesday or whatever.
Okay, again, Legwald told us last hour nobody had Shedeur on a first-round grade.
No.
Okay?
Second round grade for a lot of people. And Tom Pelissero had been tweeting that as far back as February.
Yeah, most of the NFL viewed him as a second rounder. So right now, according to the boards, that's still where they're at. Now, Legwold had Shedeur over Tyler Shough and over Jackson Dart as well, but both of them are now off the board, which then gets to that point. Look, I've watched Jackson Dart play football. I've watched Tyler Shough play football. Neither of those guys is as good as Shedeur Sanders. So right now, you cannot help but look at this, Andy, and be like, they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right now, it's pretty clear these teams are saying, look, the talent is comparable enough. We'll take a pass.
Well, so Leggy said it in his interview with us. He'd heard, too, that the Giants interview did not go well.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, I don't even remember hearing about Kellen Moore meeting with him. Mike Sanford told me early on, Mike Sanford had told us told me in one of our draft podcasts that Shedeur did not fit the profile for Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
He wanted him either real athletic or Shough is 6'4", 219.
He's 25 years of age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's more that classic stand in the pocket kind of thing.
Big arm.
Yeah. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. So, again, QB3 in this draft, Tyler Shough out of Louisville to the New Orleans Saints. Absolutely wild.
You've been listening to The Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com @Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.